Yo, what's going on, people? So, oh boy. The topic for today's video actually stems from my experience, well, if you can believe it or not, eating breakfast. Something that I've grown accustomed to in the past couple of years is catching up with all of my YouTube subscriptions when I'm eating. I think it's a great way to pass the time when you're chewing, so it's not just silence and boredom and all kinds of awkwardness when people walk in the room and they just see you eating. It's sort of become a ritual for me. And there was a video put out by Bandai Namco. It was in regards to Dragon Ball FighterZ. As you guys know, the game is, correct me if I'm wrong, it should be out in, what, a little less than 3 weeks? So, of course, they're hyping it up. They're putting out more promotional videos. They just debuted some Goku Black gameplay. And I did something that I knew would come back to bite me in the ass, because the people that I've been dealing with over the years, the type of people who are a fan of these sort of games, I just knew there would be some fuckery in the comment section. And lo and behold, there was. What was I expecting? It's the internet. In the comment section for a couple of videos for Dragon Ball FighterZ, I've noticed this trend of individuals who are just downplaying the game's existence. And the one thing that they have in common, more than anything, is that these guys are fans of Dragon Ball Xenoverse for some strange reason, simply due to the fact that they're not putting out a Xenoverse 3 this year. They are going to be boycotting FighterZ. They don't like the idea of it even existing. Which is very odd. This is strange because, as I'm sure most of you guys who are a fan of the channel, you know this, I'm not a stranger to anime games. I've played my fair share of anime licensed products, and even though I had a lot of games that I enjoyed, like the Dragon Ball Budokai series, I enjoyed the Clash of Ninja series from Naruto, there's one constant that exists, even in the games that I really do love, is that I always wish that these games got more of a development cycle. What most people forget is that these are licensed games, okay? These aren't games that are made to be quality game experiences first and foremost. That's usually a byproduct. It's the fact that they have this license, they secured this license from whatever anime company, and they can put out games to make a quick cash grab. It's just the nature of the business. In some cases, we get really good games like Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, and if you actually look at the history behind that game, it is one of the best unfinished titles of all time. As strange as that sounds, the amount of stuff that they were going to put in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 that didn't make it into the game, your jaw would be on the floor, because they were going all out for it. But due to developmental constraints, time, budget, they had to get it out within a year from Budokai 2. They couldn't fully realize their vision. And that's a trend with a lot of anime games. You see the ones that are really good, they always have something great about them that you just wish these developers had a bit more time to really, I guess you could say, expand upon their vision. So we get something, finally, that is actually a response to something we've wanted for years. We want more established studios working on these anime games. We want more traditional fighters. We want something off the beaten path, something that we haven't got before. And we have a certain group of people who are salty that it's not what came before. Okay, here's the thing. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Xenoverse, more power to you. I like the game for what it is. But if I'm being real, if we had to choose between a Xenoverse 3 and something different like Dragon Ball FighterZ, I would go with FighterZ all day, because it addresses one of the biggest problems that I've had for anime games. Like, a lot of them, actually. It has an actual development cycle. It's being worked on by an established studio. And it is something different. I think a lot of people are equating FighterZ existence to something like Capcom, what they did with Devil May Cry and Ninja Theory, that, oh, if you don't like this because it's different, then it's your fault for not being able to change or adapt. This isn't like that at all. Bandai Namco is just taking a risk, something that should be applauded, because they've taken many risks in the past. They've done a lot of weird anime games that just shouldn't have existed. But for the first time ever, they're actually listening to the fans' feedback. Instead of spreading themselves too thin by trying to cover this genre here, that genre there, and blah, 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 like a different game every year, similar to the Sonic team, they're putting all their chips into one game, and they're betting on Arc System Works to deliver. And from what we've seen, the game looks really cool. you can argue whether or not the game is going to be great and has longevity from a game perspective. Sure, that's totally fine. But to downplay its existence because it's not what you wanted, because it's not what we've gotten before, I think we're just setting ourselves up for major disappointment for future anime games if all we want is stuff that we've gotten before. Sometimes it takes them doing something different for us to go like, oh, okay, I didn't know that I would want that, but hey, I actually want this. I mean, granted, most people have wanted traditional Dragon Ball Fighters, or at least something akin to Budokai. They want that brought up to speed for the 8th generation. So when we get something similar to that, and when you actually have a developer that has pedigree behind them, these are the guys who brought us Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, we're just going to be like, nah, just give me Xenoverse 3. And here's the thing. Xenoverse 3, whether you like it or not, is just going to be another cash grab. It's going to be no different than Xenoverse 1 and 2. Sure, it's going to have its sequel changes and improvements, but come on, let's be real here. They are going to push that game out as soon as they can because it is a guaranteed sell. It is going to make money. So why can't Bandai Namco, when they see that these games can still make money, they invest that into doing something different? Oh, gee willikers, that's what they're doing with FighterZ. So who's to say in the future they might farm out some of their anime titles to other studios? Developers want to take a crack at it. Why can't we get a traditional turn-based JRPG based off some anime games? Why can't we get some open world anime titles that are legit open worlds? Like, I would love, like, let's say Sucker Punch, for example. I would love for them to work on a My Hero Academia video game. I think that'd be amazing because they know how to juggle characters using different powers. That would be fantastic. Granted, that is a pipe dream, but the point remains. This is something we should be applauding. This is something we should be telling them that it is awesome. Now, if the game comes out and it's crap, of course, we all have the right to critique them. But the sheer effort alone, and it's not something weird for the sake of being weird, because they have done, like, just every anime game that comes out for Bandai Namco, just because it's different does not mean it's good. But this is a situation where I can stand beside them and I can back them for FighterZ. Even though I'm going to wait for them to come out with the Game of the Year edition and the Season Pass and all that stuff, I'm still glad they're releasing this game. Season Pass fuckery and all. Because it is addressing problems that we've had for years. Guys, we are anime fans. Like it or not, we are the vocal minority. We are still niche. Sure, Xenoverse games sold a lot. The Storm series sold a lot. But that is a drop in the bucket compared to all these other franchises. So when you have these opportunities that can put these franchises back on the map, we are going to say no, let's go back to our box and go back to our niche and nothing will matter. This isn't a case of them bastardizing a franchise to appeal to casuals. This is a case of them doing something that the majority of people have wanted. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't understand the hate that FighterZ is getting. Sure, it has a lot of hype, but can you blame them? Like, this is something people have been wanting for years, and the sheer fact that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was such a bust, that game and FighterZ, when you compare the two, it's just no competition. This is going to be Marvel vs. Capcom for a new generation, or unless they come out with a Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Reborn or something. I think that'd be amazing on the Switch if they're not going to give us Street Fighter. Regardless of that, yeah, I don't understand this hate at all. I think it is stupid. This is not the hill you want to die on. You don't want to waste your one wish on Shenron saying, can we get a Xenoverse 3? I think it would be great, because no, there are better things to do, and if you ever do wish upon the Dragon Balls for that, I will meet you in the back alley, and I don't know. I'll throw... Well, actually, yeah, I would make a threat with this, but I'm gonna be nice today. It is Monday. I know some people have issues with this day. Anyways, yeah, guys, that's all I really want to say. I was just perplexed and this bamboozled me, man. It's so weird. Like, really? This is what's happening in 2018. We are off to a great start. Anyways, from me for now, my name is NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.